The Roman Empire, the pinnacle of power, glory, and military might, and sometimes the pinnacle of ridiculous, pathetic death. We've all heard the stories of noble emperors and stoic leaders, but what about the ones who got taken out by a common cold, a snack, or just plain old bad luck? Tonight, we're not talking about glorious battle or heroic self-sacrifice. We're talking about the emperors who met their end in ways so bizarre, so undignified, and so utterly ridiculous. You'll wonder how the empire ever survived. Starting from number 10, Caracalla, when nature calls for an assassin. Our countdown of epic fails begins with Caracalla, a man whose paranoid cruelty was legendary. He was responsible for massacres and had his own brother murdered, so you might expect a glorious, final showdown. Instead, Caracalla's life was cut short by the most humbling of circumstances. While on campaign, he suffered from a serious urinary tract infection and had to answer a desperate call of nature. And in that unguarded moment, with his pants down and his mind on more pressing matters, a disgruntled guard named Martialis found the perfect opportunity. The paranoid tyrant who had killed thousands was taken out by a simple case of bad timing and a full bladder. It's the ultimate caught with your pants down moment in history. Next up, we have Valentinian I, anger management gone wrong, an emperor whose temper was his most powerful weapon. His fury was the stuff of legend, a terrifying force that could make grown men tremble. But as it turns out, that temper was a double-edged sword. While negotiating with a Germanic tribe, he got so worked up over their defiance that he began screaming uncontrollably. Historians report that his face turned a rather magnificent shade of purple before a blood vessel in his head burst, ending his life on the spot. So remember that next time someone tells you to manage your anger. It turns out you can literally die of rage. Number 8. Antonyinus Pius, the Last Supper Roman style. Antonyinus Pius was one of the good emperors. He ruled over an era of peace and prosperity, which makes his death all the more ridiculous. You'd think a great man like this would go out with some dignity. You'd be wrong. In 161 AD, the 74-year-old emperor met his end after what can only be described as a culinary disaster. He reportedly ate too much cheese at supper, leading to a fever that took his life. That's right, one of the most powerful men in the world was felled by a single ill-advised meal. A cautionary tale if ever there was one. Number 7, Claudius, the mushroom of death. When we talk about assassinations, we usually think of daggers and poison. Claudius's death had all of that, but with a comedic element. His wife, the ambitious Agrippina, wanted her son Nero on the throne, so she decided to poison Claudius with his favorite food, mushrooms. But the poison wasn't quite working, so she brought in a physician who administered a poison-soaked feather down his throat under the guise of helping him vomit. A poisoned mushroom, a clumsy assassination, and a poison-soaked feather. The whole plot sounds more like a bizarre dinner theater performance than a royal murder. Number 6, Jovian, a room with a view of the end. Jovian's reign was short, and his death was even shorter on drama. After a humiliating peace treaty with the Persians, he died just 8 months into his rule. Historians aren't even sure how he died, but the two main theories are both equally pathetic. Either he suffocated from carbon monoxide poisoning from a faulty charcoal brazier, or he ate a bad plate of mushrooms. So the man who was supposed to lead the Roman Empire to a new dawn was either undone by a home improvement project or a simple cooking mistake. Talk about an anticlimax. Number 5, Carus, when God has a bad day. Carus was a military emperor who died in the most spectacular and ridiculous fashion imaginable. While on campaign against the Persians, a massive thunderstorm broke out. According to the official story, a lightning bolt struck his tent, instantly killing him. We're not talking about a glorious, thunderous demise. We're talking about a freak accident that could have happened to anyone. Was it a sign of divine disfavor? Maybe. Or maybe, just maybe, the gods were simply feeling a little lazy that day and decided to use a random lightning strike to do their dirty work. Number 4. Valerian, Emperor to Footstool. Here we have Valerian, an emperor who experienced the ultimate demotion. He was captured by the Persians, but instead of being executed, he was kept alive for the sole purpose of being a living footstool for the Persian king Shapur I. Every time the king wanted to mount his horse, he would step on the Roman emperor's back. As if that wasn't enough, after he died, his body was flayed, stuffed with straw, and put on display as a trophy. You know you've had a bad day when you go from ruling an empire to being a piece of human furniture. Number 3. Basil I, the Great Deer Drag. Basil I, the founder of a powerful Byzantine dynasty, met his end in a manner so bizarre, it sounds like it came straight out of a slapstick comedy. While hunting, his belt buckle got tangled in the antlers of a particularly stubborn stag. The animal, panicking, proceeded to drag the emperor for 16 miles through the woods. He was eventually rescued, but the experience was so traumatic that he died shortly after. It's an unbelievable end for an emperor, and an all-time victory for the animal kingdom. Number 2. Comeodus, a comical conspiracy. Comeodus fancied himself a demigod, but his death was anything but divine. After his mistress found out he was trying to kill her, she attempted to poison him. But Comeodus, being the glutton he was, promptly vomited the poison back up. So the conspirators had to resort to a plan B, which was to send his personal wrestling partner, Narcissus, to finish the job. Commodus, who loved wrestling so much he put on public displays, was finally defeated in his own bathtub by his wrestling buddy. You can't make this stuff up. And at number 1, Gada, a family reconciliation with a fatal flaw. Our final entry is Gada, who was co-ruling with his brother, Caracalla. Their relationship was, shall we say, strained. So their mother, Julia Domna, decided to hold a reconciliation meeting in her private chambers. Gada, perhaps hoping for a genuine truce, embraced his mother, and in that moment, his brother's guards rushed in and stabbed him to death. The emperor was killed in his mother's arms, in a reconciliation that was really just a thinly veiled murder plot. It's the kind of family drama you'd see on a bad daytime soap opera, except with more blood and a little less dignity. And there you have it, 10 of the most bizarre, undignified, and utterly ridiculous deaths in Roman history. It's a potent reminder that no matter how much power you have, you're not immune to bad luck, bad food, or just a really, really angry stag. If you enjoyed this descent into the ridiculous, be sure to like this video, share it with your fellow history buffs, and subscribe to Dark Lore for more tales that prove that sometimes the past is stranger than fiction. Thank you, and see you in the next episode of Dark Lore.